I really don't have no prediction. I think it's going to be a great fight. I think Charlo's going to come to fight. I think Canelo's going to come to fight. And it's going to give a fun, fan-friendly fight. May the best man win.
And still, the undisputed super middleweight champion of the world, Saul Canelo Alvarez.
I'm down to fight whoever, you know. Hey, I want to fight Terence Crawford. That. I could fight Terence Crawford at my weight division. Yeah.
I can beat him. No time. I can beat Canelo.
I just hook his way over.
I just felt like I wasn't me in there. I don't make excuses for myself, so it is what it is. Take my punches and roll with it. This boxing, you know. Hey, sometimes you win some, you lose some. It is what it is.
You showed an awful lot of respect, particularly early in this fight, and was it because of the difference in weight class, or what can you describe to us was the difference?
Yeah, you know, truthfully, you can feel the difference in the weight. You know, I jumped up 14 pounds. You know, I'm undisputed in my weight division, so hey, I was daring to be great right now, and so hey, you fall short sometimes, but you got to just keep on pushing. Hey, my road don't stop right here.
You took the risk. Will you now go back to 154?
Absolutely. I think this morning I weighed like 172, 173. So I'll grandfather myself into this shit. It is what it is. Like I said, I'm proud of myself. He ain't knocked me out. He knocked all the other guys out. He hit me with some hard shots. I felt like I got mine off, but you know, hey, I'm the little Charlo and I represent that.
And would it be Tim Tszyu next, perhaps?
I guess the winner of him and Mendoza, whoever I got to fight. I'm down to fight whoever, you know. Hey, I want to fight Terence Crawford. Fuck that. I could fight Terence Crawford at my weight division. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I know he's somewhere around his joint.
He's over here.
Yeah. I'll fight Terence Crawford. Yeah, let him fight Earl Spence or whatever they got going on. Get that out the way. I'm waiting. I'm about to get back right in training. Tell him don't worry about it.
Jermell, we appreciate your time. Thank you.
Respect.
So what did we learn after Canelo Alvarez's dominant performance over Jermell Charlo? What did we learn? Well, we learned that there's weight classes for a reason, right? That's first. Canelo Alvarez, some lesser guys, right? Lesser known guys gave Canelo Alvarez a tougher fight. Hell, a 35-year-old Miguel Cotto gave Canelo Alvarez a tougher fight than Jermell Charlo. Was the weight the issue? I mean, Jermell Charlo seemed to could not hurt Canelo Alvarez at all in this fight. He couldn't hurt him. He couldn't move him. He couldn't do nothing with him. Canelo was walking him down. Just walking him down. Jermell Charlo just fought to survive. And we seen what Terence Bud Crawford had to say. Terence Bud Crawford was in the building, right? Errol Spence Jr. wasn't there, but Terence Bud Crawford was in the building, scouting his potential next opposition, right? Jermell Charlo went out there and he didn't really make a good account of himself in a lot of people's eyes. Now, after the fight, you know, he was patting himself on the back. But in a lot of people's eyes, it looked like he was just there to survive. Check out what Terence Bud Crawford had to say.
Man, Charlo gave him too much respect, man. Too much. He didn't fight his fight.
You feel like he was already scared going into the fight? Like he was already defeated?
I don't know if he was scared or not, but, you know, Canelo did a tremendous job in there. He did what he had to do.
Now, after hearing Bud had to say, he don't know if Jermell was respecting him too much. And this is something that everybody saw going into this fight. The respect was just off the charts. I never seen a fighter respect another fighter that damn much. A fight of that magnitude, a fight with so much on the line, right? I guess it wasn't one of those things where the fight was built up or nothing like that, so it wasn't a lot of emotion involved or anything like that. But, you know, Jermell was talking a lot of trash over the years. I could beat him. He's tired. And then he gets in the ring with him, and then he gets taking knees, and, you know, he didn't really do much. Now, how did Canelo Alvarez look in this fight to you, right? How did Canelo Alvarez himself look? How would he have looked against somebody that was putting up some more resistance? Jermell Charlo just, I can't really call it. You know, he said he's going back down to 154 pounds. I don't know. Was it really the weight? I mean, because truthfully, Canelo Alvarez was originally a welterweight, and he campaigned at 154 pounds for quite a while. Jermell Charlo is a career 154 pounder. Naturally, he should be bigger than Canelo Alvarez, but for whatever reason, he gets in the ring with Canelo Alvarez. He put us on a little bit more weight. His first time at the weight, and he couldn't even move the guy. You know, it was a significant difference in energy even leading up to this fight before they even got in the ring. Canelo Alvarez looked like he already had this thing won at the weigh-ins, right? You could see it in his face. The confidence all week prior to this fight, you could see it in his face that he had this thing in the bag. Jermell Charlo just looked nervous. One thing I did like was that Jermell Charlo came to support his brother at his most critical moment, right? Unfortunately, it just simply wasn't enough. Jermell Charlo just didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing. He lost literally every round in the fight. Just didn't do nothing. Canelo had his way with him. I mean, I seen John Ryder put up a better fight. Come on, man. What do we be talking about when we be talking boxing for real? All right? All these guys as quote-unquote bums, they give these star fighters like Crawford and Canelo more struggle and trouble than some of the more notable named guys. Jermell Charlo went out there and essentially laid an egg. Now Terence Crawford said, look, man, I'm not interested in you no more. Right? Crawford came out and said he's not even interested in fighting you no more now. He was so disgusted by your performance. I am not impressed with your performance. In my GSP voice, he wasn't impressed, bro. But now he's looking at Canelo, and Canelo said he'll fight Crawford. Now, before, he was kind of on the fence about it, but I think he's feeling good now. And didn't I tell you guys that? If he beats Jermell Charlo, and if he does it in impressive fashion, he's going to be confident enough to call out Crawford. But shit, Jermell Charlo was confident to call out Crawford after his fight. Because Jermell Charlo knows that if he fights Tim Tszyu, he's likely going to lose. So he might as well, you know what, let me go ahead and fight Crawford. He's a smaller guy. I could probably do better against him. Plus, it's a big fight. You know, I'm not about to waste my time fighting Tim Tszyu, right? I'm not about to waste my time fighting those guys at 154 pounds. Now, he said he'll fight anybody, and I do believe Jermell Charlo would. But I think he'll be more interested in Crawford. However, Crawford is no longer interested now. Crawford is no longer interested now, man. I don't know. Would Bud fight Jermell? I think he still should, but I think he got to handle this thing with Spence first. I still think he's more interested in the Canelo Alvarez fight. I think the Canelo Alvarez fight has gotten that much more interesting, though, because Jermell Charlo, him being the bigger man than Crawford, not to say Crawford isn't a strong guy. We know Crawford is physically very strong, but will he be able to make something happen against Canelo Alvarez? Maybe if he actually came to win, right? That's one thing that Crawford said. Jermell just didn't come to win. He came to survive. I'm going to come to win. I'm going to go up in there and beat Canelo Alvarez down. I'm way better than Jermell Charlo. Right? Let's get it. So Canelo Alvarez said, yeah, let's fight Crawford. Yeah, he interested in fighting Bud. I'm interested in seeing it too. However, the task itself may be a little bit more daunting than I originally foreseen, right? Canelo Alvarez wasn't moved. However, Terence Crawford is a much better fighter overall than Jermell Ironman Charlo. What he lacks for in size, he tremendously makes up for it with skill and everything else that goes into the sport of boxing. However, will be a tall task indeed. Canelo Alvarez is very sturdy at 168 pounds, and to be honest, he should be fighting some of the more natural 168 pounders, right? This is a guy that fought at 175 pounds, people, and those guys couldn't even put him down, right? So it's going to be a tough fight for Terence Crawford, and we're going to really, really talk about it. I'm going to try to get a live stream later on today. I'm busy out with the family and everything, but I had to get this morning video in for you guys, man. Jermell Charlo, man, he just didn't show up to the fight. Didn't show up to win. We saw it in his face leading all the way up into the fight. It looked like a guy that was just uncertain, right? He just looked at uncertain. You can see it in his eyes. He didn't have that energy of a lion that was needed. He gave out some fake bravado at the weigh-ins. It sounded really forced and everything else, man. He just got up in there and he just didn't do nothing. And I'm really getting tired of these guys like Jacobs and, you know, they get up in there with Canelo and they're just not really doing nothing. They're not hurting him. They just can't do nothing with him. So we're going to see what happens next, okay? Now, the WBC forced Canelo Alvarez to face the winner of the David Benavidez-Demetrius Andrade fight, right? There were sanctioned bodies. The politics are starting to move on Canelo Alvarez. However, he's interested in fighting Terence Crawford. I think that fight takes precedence, maybe, right? It's a huge fight for the sport of boxing. But the sanctioned bodies is pretty upset. Terence Bud Crawford moving up 3 weight classes. I think a lot of people, even the powers that be, will be probably against it. It's a tall order moving up 3 weight classes. We just saw what happened, and it never ends well when a guy moves up 2 weight classes, let alone 3. So we're gonna see, right? I'm all in with Terence Bud Crawford, right? I'm all in with Bud. You know, it's a tough task to go up in there and tackle Canelo Alvarez. You know, I think he's still up. No, I think he's up for it, but I must admit it's going to be a lot tougher than I thought. Canelo Alvarez is 30, but Terence Crawford is way more skilled than Jermell Charlo, and Terence Crawford will actually come to win against Canelo Alvarez. Tell me what you guys think. Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.